Willow, what are you doing?
I'm making my intro, dum-dum.
We don't need an intro.
You don't need an intro, Lobster Boy. But where do you think our almost 7 subscribers came from? To see you? Duh. Let's go shopping. So we head out to our favorite spots. We go to some thrift stores, some antique stores, looking for inspiration and ideas, and possibly a new project. Oh, what is this? We stumble across an old wardrobe cabinet. That's Armoire for us bougie bitches. And it is a mess. Somebody spray painted a black auto spray paint, probably from their El Camino restoration project. The first thing we need to do is take all the old hardware off. Roto-Rooter, they're hiring. Ew. Dad bod Derek, I have high hopes for this channel. Think you could maybe wear a clean shirt? He takes the shelving out. We're going to save that. We're going to repurpose it for later. Indicative of true antiques, all of the screws are old slotted screws, which he takes his tool, jabs in, and screws. Ooh, what? Let's go to the hardware store, DBD, and get some supplies. First, we need a 1/2-inch sheet of MDF. That's medium density fiberboard. Eat too much of this and you get the shits. Get it? Fiber? Oh my goodness, look at the price, DBD. Next, we're going to get some white melamine. Melamine is just a fancy term for plastic-wrapped particle board, which is like a basic bitch with a Chanel purse. DBD is age and weight challenged, which is a more politically correct way of saying that he's old and fat. Therefore, we have to find other ways to cut these big, heavy, knotty pieces of MDF. He's already measured and scribed straight lines so that he can use his skill saw to cut out some sides that we're going to use for adjustable shelving. Right now, he's just making a smaller rectangular piece that we're going to use for a really super fancy scroll that we're going to put on the top. So there's this really cool piece that we got. Oh, catch me! Camera dog down! Silly, there are no actual dogs hurt in the making of this video. So as I was saying, we took this really cute piece off of a mirror and we traced it on each edge and we put a bucket in the middle to create the roundy part. And we made a really cool scrolly piece to decorate the top. Getting jiggy with his jigsaw, he starts cutting out the scroll. It's gonna look so good. DBD's never been very good at staying inside the lines, but somehow he's really good with his jigsaw. Look at him go. Ooh, boom. Almost there, Silver Top. And you did it. Good job, DBD. So we got these evil demon babies from a...
Cherubs.
What?
Cherubs.
It's what?
Cherubs.
Okay. So we got these evil demon babies from a thrift store from the town of Cherub. We're going to use these as an applique to make the top scroll mega hecto bitchin' fancy. Hand paper, sandpaper, rubbing one out, DBD. Repurposing a piece of the shelving from earlier, he's now making a brace to mount the cute, curvy evil demon baby applique top piece. I love to use the Gorilla brand, so tough and so strong, for all of my adhesive products. That's why I was so excited to get an offer for sponsorship from Gorilla Glue. Okay, well, actually, it came in the form of a cease and desist letter, but it's the beginning of a negotiation, right? DBD loves to nail things without protection on his eyes. You should wear it, really. So this next part's all messed up. I did that thing where you try to hit record and you actually don't hit record, but then when you stop recording, then it starts recording, and then you have a video of absolutely nothing. So we're going to do a reenactment for this next part. It's really simple, actually. We're just measuring to create symmetrical holes 6 inches apart down the length of the board so we can put in the pegs that hold our adjustable melamine shelving later. We did stack the 2 boards together and drilled at the same time so both sides were symmetrical. Rubbing it out again, he takes the sandpaper and smooths out the holes that we just made. Ooh, clean up your mess, DBD. For reals, we are prepping for paint and need all the pesky sawdust gone bye-bye. Now, one of the things DBD is most talented at is making a big, sticky mess. And that's exactly what we're doing here with the glue. These are our adjustable side panels for the armoire. Armoire is a French word from the old French armory, cupboard or bookcase, with its Latin root armarium, closet for storing implements or tools. These were a useful and practical way of hanging clothing before built-in closets became the popular alternative. After spewing his sticky all over the shelving, he's now going to take a paintbrush and spread it all around so we get maximum adhesion. Now to install them. Oh, careful, Buttercup. Watch out for your aging back. Attention deficit from birth, with a non-existent patience threshold, DBD uses his 18-gauge brad nail gun to hold the shelving in place while the glue dries. Now to the other side, which is a bit redundant there, stencil legs. Now to the high-tech, state-of-the-art spray booth, where unlike DBD's bedroom, the magic happens. It's so important to properly clean every surface before painting. DBD likes to sit on the ground for these types of projects because he's, fat. We'll be using Kills 2 primer to try to get rid of that horrible black automotive paint. This electric gun that we got for cheap off of Amazon works really well, and it's so much easier to clean up than our airless used to be. The only downside is it only takes 1 quart at a time. On a job like this, that means we're constantly refilling. We're spraying the backside of the evil demon baby applique.
Cherubs.
Why do you keep saying that? Hush up, Cupcake, and leave the narration to the professionals. Watching primer cover up bad paint is strangely satisfying, like watching pimples pop. Splat! Ew! Nasty! Do it again. Okay, so pimple popping is more interesting. Speaking of interesting, have you seen that cutie patootie from Blacktail Studios who does the huge wood slab epoxy builds? He's amazing! Professional, talented, handsome. Kind of the opposite of DBD, huh? Oh well, we're learning. If I can figure it out, I'll leave a link below to one of his videos. It's worth watching. Shake it, fake it, mama! DBD is jiggling the finished paint and his belly before pouring into the sprayer. No need to thin, this badass sprayer can handle it straight, like DBD with his whiskey. We're using chalk paint so we can sand the arabesque lines of the appliques later for more detail and age distress. There's lots of age distress on DBD's face, but that comes from the sun, not sandpaper, and it's harder to paint over. Still in the state-of-the-art, semi-foolproof spray booth. Oh, it did let one fool in. 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of chalk paint. After letting it dry overnight, he sands the workbench, then sands his leg because he needs medical intervention. No, it's really because he just put on a new piece of 320 grit sandpaper and he wants to knock the grit off, then clean it before touching it to his delicate appliques. After finishing the rougher work, we switch to handpaper sandpaper for the more delicate details. DBD has so much more patience to get details correct than I do. Maybe it's because he's drunk. These knobs were most likely a beautiful bronze once upon a fucked it up with some automotive spray paint time, but with some sanding, take on a new, amazing life of their own. Kind of like Caitlyn Jenner. It's hard to find a piece with this much raised molding, and DBD is respectful not to damage it. He can be so gentle for an ogre. Sanding off the top coat of chalk paint, and occasionally the primer below, he creates a distressed look that he will also use to hold the gold paint that he will use later. Such attention to detail, DBD! You're truly a badass! On to the decorative, demonstrative, evil twin applique babies from Hades, he continues to sand and distress to bring out detail and character. Using Annie Sloan gold gilding wax, we further enhance the appliques and raised moldings. Using his super high-tech spreader tool, he spreads it all around the edges. Doing the same with the raised molding and appliques, he feathers it into the areas we previously sanded to give dimension and bitchin'. Oh yeah, I just used bitchin' as a descriptive noun. Onto the distressed sanding of the cabinet base. I'm getting so excited to see it done, I can hardly suppress my excitement. After all the sanding, distressing, and gilding paint is completed, we are back to the sophisticated, convoluted labyrinth of a spray booth for 3 coats of matte polyurethane. While DBD is boring me with the finish coat, I'm off for some pickleball. While I was doing more important things, DBD got the cabinet polyed and is installing the tabs that will hold the adjustable shelving. There's a little brace on the back that we will scribe so that we can notch all of the shelving so that it fits perfectly. Back to the tool DBD is best at, the jiggle saw, for the notched cuts in the Bougie melamine. The shelving is in, and it looks practical, classical, academic, Hellenic, bolter, blow my mind, amazing! Now to make sense of all that hardware we removed. We chose to put on the original hardware with the original slotted screws to preserve the authenticity of the armoire. Putting the top piece on, careful DBD. I can certainly see why screws have been improved from slotted to Phillips to hex shapes over the years. These old screws are not pretty to work with, like a drag queen without makeup. Getting the door latch in place is our final step before getting to see the grand finished reveal. Oh my God! DBD, it's gorgeous! Will you let me out now? Hello? Oh, there you are. I can't believe how well this turned out, DBD. Do you think we can keep it? If you've enjoyed any part of this Armoire Upscale, pretty please subscribe to my channel. I'm really hoping to reach 10 subscribers. Then I'll only be 990 away from 1,000. DBD, will you do the outro with me? This has been Willow from Willow's Timeless Decor.